Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Crypto Hipsters podcast, where I interview founders and co founders, entrepreneurs and artists, executives and stay at home hipsters in crypto and blockchain around the world. And I have an amazing podcast for you today. Let's get to it. Today, I have an amazing guest. Very excited about this interview because it covers a topic that I haven't really brought to you guys and that I've wanted to all year. He is the Chief Business Officer and the co-founder of Delta Exchange. Welcome, Jitender Tokas. Welcome.
Hi, Jamil. Great to be on your show.
Great to have you here today. So awesome. So let's kick things off and ask you first, what is your background and is it a logical background for what you're doing now?
And I would think so. I studied engineering, but most of my career has been in finance. I started out with GIC in Singapore, GIC being the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Singapore government. I worked there for about 3 years. Then I moved back to India, where I joined Citi. I was a stock analyst for about 5 years. And for me, it was a logical transition into crypto from a finance side of things. And currently, we are working on a derivatives exchange. So whatever I learned in the past, I have been able to apply that in the context of crypto.
And the Delta Exchange is located in India, or you're in the Caribbean, or where you're in India, but the company's Caribbean.
Right. Yeah. So our team is in India, but the exchange is legally situated in the Caribbean, in the Saint Vincent and the Grenadines.
Great. So, could you tell us what the Delta Exchange, what you guys do, like how it works, everything? You're an options and derivative exchange. How does that all work?
So we offer a wide range of derivative products where the underlying are cryptocurrencies. We have futures, perpetual swaps, and options on cryptocurrencies. If we talk about futures and perpetual swaps, we offer them on, I think, over 100 coins, probably closer to 150. And we offer options on Bitcoin, ETH, and a bunch of other buzzy altcoins such as Solana, Matic, AVAX. Now, our options offering is more recent. I think we started to work on it maybe a year ago, and it has matured over the last few months. And now we are seeing amazing traction and interest from traders for our options offering. And it is unique in several ways. So all the other crypto exchanges that offer options, their options are settled in the underlying coin itself. This means that if you are trading BTC options, they would settle in BTC. If you are trading ETH options, they would settle in ETH. And that makes it difficult for traders because you have to keep your balances in all these different cryptos. In our case, all our options are settled in USDT. Secondly, we offer options on more underlyings than anyone else. Like we are the only exchange that offers options on, say, Solana. And the third thing is we are about to launch portfolio margining. portfolio margining is available on other crypto exchanges, but uh, the hurdle to access portfolio margin is much higher. So you need to have like a minimum account balance. Sometimes it's as high as 1 BTC to be able to access portfolio margining. In our case, we are going to keep the hurdle to like a bare minimum. Let's say if you have 1,000 USDT in your account, you will be able to access portfolio margining. And that's going to be a game changer for smaller retail traders, because now they will have access to the kind of capital efficiency which can unlock a lot of trading opportunities for them. So I'm really excited about that. This feature, we we are recording on 28th January, and I believe that this feature should go live in first week of February. And I would also like to highlight that we have launched our options offering only recently, and we are already the #2 player globally, next only to Deribit. Other exchanges have had options offering, and somehow they have stagnated and not seen any traction in their options product. For us, it has been a huge success, and so we are I'm really excited about our options product, and I'm quite optimistic and confident that this year we will see, I believe, 10 to 50x growth in our options trading volume.
That's great. That's awesome. So you mentioned you're second to Deribit, right? How do you are you able to get the massive amount of volume because you're using Tether and you're avoiding, the ETH fees and whatever else fees that they're involved, that is not a big challenge for you to overcome? How do you keep those fees low with the massive amounts of trading that you do?
Our options volume growth is not only driven by keeping the settlement currency in USDT. I think the primary differentiation that we have brought to the market is we have made it easy and accessible for retail traders to trade crypto options. So Deribit is largely an institutional player focused exchange. And if you look at their UI and the way their app is designed, it's not super friendly for retail traders. And what we have been able to do is by designing a product in a way which is intuitive for retail traders, by targeting a marketing campaign for those kind of audience, we have been able to bring new crypto options traders to the market. So I would say that we are growing by growing the market. I do not believe that we are growing by taking market share away from Deribit and the other exchanges that offer crypto options. And this is what it makes it so much more exciting for us. So in a way, we are not really competing with Deribit. We are sort of right now in like a blue ocean space where all we have to do is just create awareness among these traders who are familiar with options trading but have not traded crypto before, or have not traded crypto options before.
Got it. That makes a lot of sense to me. So I'm in the U.S. What we have right now is we have an attempt at regulation that is friendly to institutions, but not really helping retail, right? So you have a blue ocean there where you're helping retail. So I'm gonna ask you what lessons can my country and the Western world take from India, take from what you're doing to help retail?
Well, I don't know how to answer this question. If you look at options trading globally, in the last few years, there has been a surge in uh, retail volumes in options trading, and I'm talking about traditional stock market. It's the same in India. It's the same in the US, and I think there are maybe various factors at play. For instance, in India, the unlock in options trading came after the dominant exchange here, which is NSE, started offering portfolio margining. It's something which we, like I said, we are doing next week. So, hopefully we will see similar sort of growth unlock for us. And if you look at the US, maybe companies like Robinhood have played a part where they made it really easy for retail traders to access options. Um, so I believe that you have to give traders the right set of tools to be able to make sound decisions for themselves. You cannot assume that people do not understand these instruments or they are not capable of assessing the risk reward and making good trading decisions. But you cannot be overprotective when it comes to regulation. You cannot assume that people are not smart enough to be able to make good trading decisions for themselves.
I agree with you 100%. So and let's talk about those trading decisions and those tools, because in May and June of this year, a lot of people were liquidated because they were trading at 100x on Binance and other exchanges. How did that end up working for your clients? And why should, have you seen those 100x trades right now? And the recent pullback, what's the status of the trading industry with that 100x?
That 100x leverage is available on many exchanges, including our exchange. However, that is not what the average trader uses. And from the data that I have gathered from various sources or like public sources, on other exchanges too, the average leverage for a trade tends to be between 5 and 10. On Delta exchange as well, the average leverage used by a trader is about 7x. So there are people who use 100x, and people who are using 100x clearly do not make good returns over a long enough horizon. But that does not mean this is the behavior of an average trader. Now, whenever there are sharp market moves, liquidations happen. But you have to understand that liquidations can happen even if you are at a lower leverage. Maybe you have been holding a position for a long time and it has been in losses. And the second thing is that you cannot also assume that liquidations happen only for retail traders. Like there are instances when in these big moves, over leveraged funds have gotten wiped out. And we see that behavior even in traditional markets where the mortality rate of hedge funds tend to be really high because they take risky bets. So this notion that only retail take risky behavior and they end up losing all their money is not correct. Risky behavior happens across the board. And I think you have to look at the average trader rather than, the sort of maybe the tail end of the spectrum where people are using high leverage and doing extremely risky stuff. Now on Delta Exchange, so what we do is, we try to educate traders about the risk of leverage. We provide them tools such as bracket orders. So you can place your target take profit orders and stop loss orders along with the order you are placing itself. So even before you take a position, you can place a take profit order and stop loss order with it. So these tools help traders sort of manage their risk. And I would also like to add another angle to this, that it is good business for us to help our traders trade profitably, make money. We succeed when our customers succeed. And if a trader comes to our platform, indulges in really risky, high leverage trading, ends up losing all his capital, it is quite unlikely that we will be able to, get that customer back, or it's quite unlikely that he would bring more capital and continue to trade. So it's good business for us to make sure traders, make good decisions, manage their risk better, and that sort of increases the value of them as customers to us.
That makes a lot of sense. I'm not a chartist by only looking at charts. There are a lot of YouTube shows on people showing you a chart history trends and saying that direction is this. So the coin might go up, it might go down, it might go sideways. They have no idea, really. So that comes down to educating your users and your traders. What mix of technical or chartist versus fundamental do you help people understand?
See, that's a tough question. I don't know the mix. And see, personally, I am not a chartist either. Like I mentioned before, I was a stock analyst. So my training is grounded into in fundamental analysis. Now, the thing is, in case of foreign currency trading, there are some macro factors, but most of the analysis is just this chart-based technical analysis. In the case of crypto, it becomes even more, technical analysis driven, because it is really difficult to identify fundamental reasons to justify price moves or to come up with price targets. Now, even though I do not really subscribe to the view that technical analysis has a lot of value, but I can see how it can be used to trade, because if everyone is watching a level and everyone has a view on or some trade around that level, then that level becomes important, right? It's sort of like a self-fulfilling prophecy. So most people in crypto, I think, use technical analysis because of lack of other alternative data to base your analysis on. And what do our customers do? I would think that they sort of are in the same league as the rest of the market, following technical analysis. Maybe there is some event-based trading you can do, but that's about it.
I recently took a lot of heat on Twitter for a level that I look at. I look at the Shiba Inu level of 0.00002. And despite all the pullbacks, it hasn't fallen under that level. So I use that to assess the health of the market. I don't know if it's good or not, but it is what it is. So, um, but you have, I've heard people say bad things about a lot of exchanges. I've not heard one bad thing about yours. So my question is this: how does the role of integrity and ethics play a role? Especially when you're dealing with options. Like, how do you build that into your platform, and how important is that to you?
I think it's super important for a variety of reasons. We are dealing with people's money. We are a centralized exchange, so we have to keep people's money in our custody. And second, when trading happens, there is a lot of money at stake. So any small error could have, large, significant financial consequences for us, for our customers. So it's, I think in any business, it's really important to, treat your customers right, to, follow a certain moral code or ethics. But in the business of money or businesses related to money, this becomes like paramount. We started Delta Exchange in August 2018. And initially, people would come to our Telegram channel. We have a troll box on our website where you could chat with each other or chat with customer support. And is Delta a fraud? Is Delta a scam? These kind of questions were, asked quite frequently. And it has taken us a lot of time, consistency, and treating our customers right to reach a stage where these questions have become, I would say, practically non-existent. So I would say that there is no easy way. There are no quick solutions to this. You can find or create signals about your about your company, maybe based on which are the investors who have backed you, or how much capital you have, or which are the traders which are using your exchange and saying that publicly. But ultimately, it really boils down to treating your customers right every time. And that's what we do. As a startup, as a company which is now fairly mature, but we have also had a similar journey of evolution that most startups go through. We have made tons of mistakes, and there are times when things go wrong. But what we do not do is that we do not sort of we do not refuse to accept that we have made a mistake. When we make a mistake, we own it, we apologize to the customers. If we have to compensate the customer for any losses that might have happened because of our mistake, and we make things right. And this is what we do every time. And I believe this is what has served us well. This is what has sort of improved, or provided us a really strong reputation in the market.
Awesome. That's why I haven't heard a bad thing. That's great. So, yeah, this is exciting to me. Awesome. So, I wanted to shift gears a little bit on our conversation, and because I haven't had too many guests from India, but a few years ago, India was really, like, people didn't know this, but it was really a hotbed for crypto. A lot of fighting between the government and the people, and kind of like where the U.S. seems to be headed right now. I wanted to get your take on what the environment is like now, because a lot of people think, oh, there's a lot of people in India, so crypto could be popular. It's hasn't been a rosy path, right? What is it like now?
So, just when we were starting out and, we were in the process of setting up our company, back in 2018, that's when our central bank came up with a regulation saying no financial entity could deal with a company that is working in the crypto space. And that was a major setback. And that decision was overturned by the Supreme Court later. I think much later, maybe like I don't know, after like 1.5, 2 years. And since then, even though crypto is not regulated in India, there is at least some clarity. However, the government is in the process of introducing a law to regulate crypto. They keep on scheduling that crypto regulation bill in the sessions of the parliament, but so far it has not been presented. The next session of parliament is about to start. It will start from next month. So let's see what happens to that bill. So that's from the regulatory side. Now, what has happened on the adoption side? There are 2 or 3 companies, exchanges in India have gotten massive funding, and they have gone on massive mass media spending spree where they advertise their services on TV and during cricket matches, in print media. So the number of users, or I would say the owners of cryptocurrencies, that has grown dramatically. I've seen different numbers quoted in media. It could be as high as 10, 20 million people who own some amount of crypto. So crypto adoption has really increased quite a lot. If you would look at it in terms of percentage of population, these numbers are going to be insignificant. But that's the case for most things in India, because you could argue there are like 3, 4 countries within one country. If you sort of segment people by affluence, their level of education, where they stay, etc. Now, looking at the other aspect of crypto adoption, India has a lot of software developers, and they are interested in crypto. Some really exciting startups are coming out of India, and the RBI, the central bank decision to ban crypto back in 2018, that had dissuaded the developer community from engaging with the crypto ecosystem. That's changing now quite a bit, and in my network, I keep on seeing people starting up in crypto or working with crypto firms based out of India. So I would say that from both perspectives, adoption by people who either own or trade crypto, and from the developer community, the crypto adoption in India has grown significantly in the last, say, 1 to 2 years. And just to share an interesting tidbit with you, last year, yes, sometime during the last year, the income tax department in India came up with a circular or a regulation that all listed or private companies in India have to declare in their financial statements any crypto holdings or any gains made by crypto trading. Now, this sort of tells you that there must be a lot of Indian corporates who are either holding crypto in their treasuries or who are actively trading crypto. Now, this is something which has not really made the headlines, but it's an interesting parallel. Just like we are seeing in the US, corporate treasuries are buying crypto. For instance, Tesla. Same thing is happening in India, probably a little bit under the radar, but it's telling that the income tax department, asked specifically for this data. So the activity must be significant.
Yeah. And also, a lot of U.S. corporations outsource their technology development to India. And they too might be under the radar.
Crypto companies who have outsourced their development to Indian developers. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm saying U.S. corporations do that.
Yeah.
At least we did that when I was at AIG. So maybe a lot of these corporations are involved in crypto in some way, and they're just not letting the public know. Something to think about.
Probably. Yes.
Interesting. So I want to thank you for your time today. This has been an amazing conversation. I enjoyed learning more about the Delta Exchange. Like I said, everybody I've seen talk about it said positive things. So I have one last question, and it's this: how can people find out more information about you, about what you do? How can they start to trade on Delta Exchange? How can they do any of that?
Sure. So we have presence on all social media channels. Our website is www.delta.exchange. Unfortunately, we cannot accept US residents, but we serve pretty much the rest of the globe with a few exceptions. I am personally available on Twitter. My Twitter handle is tweet of the Tokas. Not hugely active, but my DMs are open. Feel free to reach out to me. I'll be happy to engage with anyone.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time today.
It was great talking to you.